Lesson 1. If you are right-handed, it helps to slant your paper to the left. If you're left-handed, it helps to slant your paper to the right. We're going to start, instead of with ABC, with I and T. We're going to start building those fine motor skills in our hands that allows us to smoothly write our letters going together. So we're going to be practicing the uphill motion. So when you're looking at your writing paper, I got this one from a free online website for lined paper for cursive handwriting. There are 3 lines. So you have your top solid line, your middle dotted line or dashed line, and your bottom solid line. That is to help you indicate how large you want your letters to be. Uppercase letters generally go all the way to the tippy top, and lowercase letters generally go towards the middle so that you can see the difference between the letters. We're going to practice all lowercase letters first in our lessons and then start integrating some uppercase letters towards the end. Okay, so we're going to start with the I first, and it's very important that you follow these directions for which direction to write. We want to make sure that we do this because when you're writing in cursive, you want all of your letters to flow together, and for your pen or pencil not to come off the page. So when you're making a lowercase I, you're going to start at the bottom line. You're going to slant upwards to the middle line, trace back down to the bottom line, and swoop up just like that. When you're done with that, you're going to go ahead and put your dot of your I. Go ahead and do that a few times. Slanting up, hitting that middle line, and then swooping down after you trace. Now, after you've made a line of I's, go ahead and circle which one you feel like is the best I that you made. Personally, I think this one would be my best I. Go ahead and choose yours. Next, we're going to practice the T. T has a very similar swooping up and tracing down motion. So instead of stopping at the middle line, we are going to go uphill all the way to the tippy top, then trace all the way back down and swoop, just like what we did for the bottom of the I. And then instead of dotting the top, you're going to make a slash right through that middle dotted line. That's your lowercase t. Go ahead and do some practices of that. All the way up, trace down, cross. All the way up, trace down and swoop, cross. Okay. Once you've written your T's, go ahead and pick your best one. I like my first one. Okay. Now let's practice some I's and T's. The middle line, dot. Slope up to the middle line, dot. Now a couple of T's. Okay, very good. Now we're going to practice putting these letters together. First, let's start with a word we know using the letters I and T. It. Okay, so we're going halfway up, swooping down, and then going directly up back into our T all the way to the top, tracing down into our swoop, and then we're coming back to do our dot and our little slash over the T. Okay, do a couple more of those. Then let's flip it around. Let's practice going from the T to the I. So we're going to go all the way to the top, come down, go halfway up, and then swoop out. Okay, I can fit one more in there. And there's our T and I and T. Okay, now that we've practiced the swooping uphill motion and tracing back down, we are going to continue to U, W, and E. These letters have similar uphill motions, so they go together with the fine motor skills in our hands that we've been learning. So, go ahead and watch. We're going to go from the bottom line because we want to connect these letters to other letters. From the bottom line uphill to the middle, swoop down into our U, and then swoop out. Okay, so I'm going to show you that again. We're going to go up from the bottom line, make our U shape, and then swoop out. It looks a lot like if you connect two I's together without their dots. Okay, there's one I, and there's the other, but we're just putting them together to make the U. Okay, go ahead and try yourself. On that last one, I went all the way up to the middle line again, because if I was connecting this U to a word like unique, I would want to go up to that middle line to continue my next letter. Okay, go ahead and circle your best U. I like this one. Okay, now we're going to move on to our W. And what you'll notice is we're going to be making a U first, going up into the next line, and then it's going to have a little boop at the end. Here we go. So we're going to go up from the bottom, trace back down. That's where we would stop at a U, but then we're just going to go boop, just a little bump, going from the middle line down just slightly and back up to that middle line. That little boop is what's going to help us going to the next word, next letter in the word, without someone thinking that it's a U, okay? Because it has those two bumps instead of the one. All right, let's continue our W's. Make sure that when you're practicing, you're building good habits. So when something is supposed to go down to the bottom line, make sure it hits that bottom line. If it's supposed to go up to the middle line, make sure it hits that middle line. If you build good habits now, when you're writing very quickly and trying to write in cursive, your hand will kind of have muscle memory and will help you to do it without thinking too much about it. All right, let's go on to our E. Now our E does something slightly different, okay? Instead of tracing back down, our E is going to do a little backflip. So let's watch. You're going to go up from the middle line, you're going to slant ever so slightly more, and then backflip at the line. So you're going to go up, slant, 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 hit the line, and do a backflip into a swoop, okay? Go up, backflip, swoop. Slant, backflip, swoop. Go ahead and try it. Remember, it helps a little bit to slant that uphill, and you're going to be going backwards into your E with a little backflip. Okay, go ahead and circle your favorite W's and E's. once you feel comfortable with your U's, W's, and E's, we're going to go ahead and write some words and some nonsense words with these letters. Let's put them together. Okay. The first thing what we're going to do is connect our E's together to get that swooping motion and that backflip practice that we like to practice. So here we go. For the E's, we're going to go up, backflip, up, backflip, up, backflip, just like that, kind of like a spiral pattern. Okay? We're going to go uphill backwards, spiraling right around. Okay? Now we're going to practice the word we. So we're going to make a W by going up, tracing down into that U shape, tracing back down again, and then doing our little boop. But instead of hitting the line, we're going to come down and make a back flip for our E. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do that one more time. So instead of booping back up to the line, when you make your W, you're going to go down a little and then back flip into your E. Okay? When you connect E to other letters, it very much looks like a regular handwritten E. Okay, let's go ahead to the word wet using our W, E, and T from earlier in the lesson. So we're going to come up, and our W, come down into our E like in we, all the way up to the line, and swoop back down with our line down the middle for the T. Feel free to slow the video down or take a pause to try it yourself. We're going to do the word tee, like a golf tee that you hit the golf ball off of. So we're going to go up into T and then back flip into our E's. Okay. Let's try the word wit, like someone who is clever. W, I, trace all the way down to the line, T, dot, and slash. Wit. Okay, 2 more words for this practice. We're going to use tie, like you tie your shoe. T, I, back flip into the E. Okay. Now, tut, T-U-T. So T, U, back up into the T. You almost have to make a mental placeholder for where your dots and slashes need to go for your I's and T's. Okay. So that concludes our I, T, U, W, and E lesson. Thanks for joining me.